Welcome to episode 132 of the Creators Outlet, sponsored by our friends over at the Inked marketing team. If you need that extra push in your Kickstarter or Indiegogo, contact Kevin over at the Inked marketing team to see what they can do for you. And speaking of crowdfunders, we want to let you know there's very limited time left on the Ununu Warriors. Ununu Warriors is a classic tale of light versus darkness. The story begins in present day as we see the Royal Hawaiian Guard, the leader of the Amaku Guardians of Hawaii, sharing the powerful origin story of the Ununu Warriors and the valuable lessons the human race can learn from their tale. The Ununu is an all-powerful cosmic mana ohana. Grab your copy today at inked.pub/Ununu. ANUENUE. And we welcome today's guest, Max of the Ham.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm well rested and ready to go.
You got some sleep in before the chitlins got home from school today?
Well, I actually didn't go to work last night, so I kind of got a normal person's sleep.
Wow.
I got my vaccine Friday, so I was out of commission, just sleeping all day Saturday and Sunday.
That's what I did too.
Yeah.
Well, minus the vaccine part.
Oh, right.
I kept hearing people arguing in my hallway because I live in a big building, and I'm like, oh, these people are up way too early. And I kept pulling the covers back over my head. Next thing I know, I'm waking up. It's 4:00 in the afternoon on my Saturday morning. I was back asleep and slept through the night at 7. And I pretty much, I got up Sunday morning, had breakfast, went back to sleep, woke up at 11:30, said, okay, why not, have lunch, went back to sleep, woke up around 7:30, ate dinner, and passed right back out.
Oh, man.
And then it was Monday morning. So, hey.
Yeah.
Hey-oh, here we are.
Lots of fun.
So let's start by having you tell us how you got into.
Oh, you broke. How I got started with comics? You broke out there. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. How you first got sucked into comics and fell in love with the medium and all that good stuff.
Excellent. Yeah. So, well, when I was I actually got into comics a little later. I mean, I always loved like comic book characters, but from cartoons. But what really sucked me into the medium was when I was about 15. I got my first Ultimate Spider-Man comic book. And that was what kind of made me fall in love with reading comics as well as just loving Spider-Man from other mediums.
So I already know what age group you're in. So
yeah, I'm a millennial.
Yeah. Oh, dear Lord.
But I'm one of the older ones. Like, millennials are generally born from like 1980 to 1995. I'm an 86, so.
Oh, so you're not offended at everything.
Right, exactly.
Oh, okay. That's much better.
Yes. I'm in that weird place where it's like there are some millennial. It's like you could kind of cut the millennial generation in half. It's like those who lived during the Everybody Wins trophies and those who lived before. I was one of them who lived before.
I actually had to earn that $2 piece of plastic they gave you guys for sitting there.
That's right.
Professional bench warmers. Dang it. Trish, how are you? Trish and her husband are the biggest supporters of indie comics on crowdfunding ever.
All right. Excellent. Good to know. I'm pretty much just still learning everything about, the comics, the indie scene, even though I've kind of been involved for a good amount of time. I did take a break for a little while too after I stopped. I had to stop a few years ago, and then I kind of got back into it last year. So I've been kind of on and off, I guess you could say, for the last 5 years.
Yeah, so you really started getting into comics with the Ultimate Spider-Man run, and I remember when that came out. I'm like, what's this? Goes, oh well, they're trying to pick up a new younger crowd. So Peter Parker is like 9 years old or something. I go, oh, what the hell?
He was 15, but yeah. I mean, he was a lot on the younger side. Like I think
technically he should be like, Stan Lee's age, shouldn't he?
Right.
Hopefully not where Stan Lee is right now, but
yeah.
Of course, nobody dies at Marvel, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
Well, the Help does. That's about it.
Right.
But I remember when I was like, and I did the same thing to when Miles came out, and then I really dug Miles in the animated movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew the character, and technically I liked him more from playing a couple of the mobile games from Marvel, but
right.
I'm invisible. I'm going to spit webs on all of you and electrocute you.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, damn, I wouldn't mind having that power.
Right.
I mean, Peter's allergic to electricity. If we go back, to the 80s or 90s with Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, he couldn't touch anything electrical.
Right.
I guess that would make the electrified cage from Craven a bug zapper.
Right. Yeah, I guess that would be, huh?
Yeah. It's kind of weird like that, but.
Huh. Bug zapper. Yeah.
But that ended up being like a huge hit for them, and yet again, as I scarf at a number one that I didn't buy and is now worth a bunch of money. Both with Ultimate Spider-Man and the first appearance of Miles Morales, I was like, whatever. Yeah. And now I'm like, they're worth what?
Right. They're up there.
Oh, man.
Not quite as much as Amazing Fantasy 15, but hey, it's still pretty good.
Any new Joker stuff I want to share? No, we're actually here talking to our guest about his all ages kids comic, which just happens to be the same exact size as 47 Furious Tales. I do have a new Joker piece coming, and I will share it when it comes in the mail. Mike Jimmy from New Zealand, the creator of another awesome all ages comic. We went live, and he was doing a thing for Open for Commissions, and he drew this very cool Joker, and then I PM'd him. I go, you're selling that to me, right? So tell us, you took a break from comics and then went back.
Yep.
And what made you want to make your own comic?
Well, I mean, part of it is that, that childhood dream. You're always drawing comics. Well, I was always drawing comics when I was a kid. I could never draw, but I would draw stick figures. And in my mind, it was a legitimate comic, and that's kind of why. And so part of that, and the other part of it is, I actually originally intended Earth's Best Friend to be like a novel, but all the feedback that I got from people was this really ought to be a comic book or something with more of a visual medium. Mm-hmm. Because they didn't like the way I wrote it, I guess, the way it was written. Just, they were like, I'd much rather have pictures to go with this. So it's like, all right. And then I just happened to finally get myself into a financial position where I actually can afford artists a little bit to do things for me. Mm-hmm. So slowly but surely this first chapter got done. And then I found a new artist that was a little less expensive. And so that's why chapter 1 has art that clearly is much different. I don't know if you saw that.
Let's blow that up. There we go.
Yeah. So this is what chapter 1 looks like. The artist is Manami Debnath. The colorist is Candace Morgan, and the letterer Dave Lentz. Whereas chapter 2, it's all done by this artist Gene Pedroso. Colors, letters, illustrations, everything. So he's a little more financially better, but I think I like his style overall better. Not that the other style is bad by any means, because it's not, but just I think it fits my project better. And sorry, my camera autofocuses.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I get that a lot too.
So yeah, Earth's Best Friend. So I'm really excited. These books just came in today. It's basically a double issue. It's like, here's chapter 1. I call it Halloween Ruckus. I didn't actually put the title on the cover. And then chapter 2, Tornado Trouble. So I made the covers with the art was made for me by artists. Dave Lentz, again, is the character creator, designer for these characters as well that I use. And then this is a scene from chapter 2 that Gene Pedroso did. But the text and everything that is on the cover was made by me. So, well, actually not the title. The title again is Dave Lentz, but everything else. I followed a YouTube tutorial. YouTube is great for just about anything you want to do. There's a tutorial for it.
Oh yeah.
And so I started going back to it. I started in like September, October of last year, and here I am today with chapter 2 complete. I've also got chapter 3 on its way, and I've got a 4-page 4th of July special that I can't wait to put up on Webtoons. So this is a webcomic as well. I do have it on Webtoons because that was the route I decided I wanted to try to go after my first Kickstarter failed, just to kind of see if I can get feedback from people and readers and stuff. And now I feel confident that I think, it's great. It's better to have books in print. I think people respond to printed books more than they do webcomics, because I haven't gotten, ever since I talked about this being in print, people have been like, hey, but I've been talking about it being a webcomic for a few months now, and people haven't really been saying much. So
now, how was the response on Webtoons for you though?
I've got about 15 subscribers. I've got the first like 5 pages have comments on them, and then up to page, I believe I have 12 pages up there now, and I haven't really gotten any more comments or likes or anything. So seems like whatever was going on in the beginning has kind of died off.
Yeah, you need to, what it is with Webtoons and Canvas and all that stuff is you pretty much have to have like a dozen pages ready to go, like at least like every other week.
Yeah.
If people don't see stuff like every other week from you, if not like, weekly, then, and it's going to be, at least like 12 or 13 panels, or they're like, okay, bored now. Because consider the majority of, that's what all these kids are doing. They're going to Webtoons and Canvas and just scrolling through, finding stuff that they like.
Yeah.
Because it's free.
That's it.
That way they can pay for more apps on their iPad, right, and dish out like $20 or $30 to Minecraft online or something, opposed to actually buying. Oh, that's just got to take up space in my room.
Right.
Like, hello.
Yeah. I mean, I can relate to that. I have a problem with space. We have a pretty small apartment, so I'm just kind of like, yep, I don't like to take up too much space with things, but I did just get this camera, and now I have a tripod set up in my room, and it's like, oh, all right, I'm taking up space. Here I am.
Yeah, I bought a tripod, but I've got like one of those short, like 4-foot tables.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got a unique thing going on that I think you would love where I am, because I have a 2,400 square foot apartment.
Oh, wow.
That's why you see the big giant ceilings behind me, and I'm in one of those refurbished, apartments from like an old factory building.
Oh.
Which is pretty cool. My daughter's got her room. I got my bedroom plus a walk-in closet.
Oh man.
And then we've got like 2,400 square feet. And the only thing that's terrible is there's no overhead lighting, because the ceilings are like 25 feet high.
Oh geez.
But
yeah, that'd be nice.
It's nicely lit here, and you can see all the sun hitting the back wall behind my big head.
Oh
because I have 5 windows in this room, because I have a corner unit, and then my daughter's she's got a window in her bedroom. I got a window in my bedroom, but the window sills are just a little shorter than a short comic box.
Oh really?
So I mean, I could put like comic book boxes across all these windows. And matter of fact, quite a few of them I have, but I have to pull out and rearrange. So I have like some kind of backdrop besides. Oh look, he's got a table with a bunch of crap piled up on it. Wait, the stuff on the far right, that looks like books. Are those comic books? Yes, they are. I do own real books, but most of my real books are based on comic book characters. So.
Nice.
But I do have actual, real books that, are in the house that, my daughter refuses to touch and read.
Oh,
but, so tell us about the characters in the books.
Yeah. And
how you went about character development on it.
Excellent. Yeah. So the first characters you meet are the heroes, Hyper Feline Ninja Heroes / the elementary school kids, Jackson, Chloe, Celie, Lacey. And the cats' names: Fury, Rosie, BB, and Skies. So Jackson turns into Fury, Chloe into Rosie, Celie into Sky, and Lacey into BB. On the first page, in pink is Chloe. Jackson's with the red hair, and then the two blonde kids, Celie and Lacey, in green and blue. Those are our elementary school kids, and the characters that are named after my kids and my nephew and niece. So Chloe and Celie are my kids. Jackson and Lacey are my nephew and niece.
Now the next quick question is:
sure,
do they all know they're in a comic book?
Oh yeah. And they love it.
Trish says, I shared out your Kickstarter. Hope you fund. We'll catch you later. Got to make dinner. Oh, okay. We'll make something good, Trish. I'm hungry too.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for more Joker stuff.
So their personalities are roughly based off the kids that, in real life, but because when I started this comic, they were actually the two younger ones, Celie and Lacey, were actually pretty much babies. So I had to kind of make up personalities for them. So they don't resemble their real life people as much as Lacey and Jackson. As much as Chloe and Jackson do. I get my own kids mixed up with each other now.
Sit down at the table. Which
Jackson / Fury is the leader of the group. In this comic, I made him and Chloe twins, but they're not twins in real life. It's just they have like a very in real life they have a 3-month age gap. So in the comic, I wanted to make them all siblings, and it's like, how the heck do I make them 3 months apart if they are siblings? So I decided to make them twins. That way they could be in the same grade and they can, But anyway, so let's get a picture of all 4 cats here. Actually, I've got a perfect page for that. When they transform, yeah, all 4 of them together. Yeah, right here. So in red is Fury. It's mirror image, so I have a really hard time pointing. Come on, camera, focus. Then to the right of Fury is Rosie in pink. To his left is BB in blue, and then above him is Sky in green.
Cool.
So Fury has fire powers. Rosie has a power, technically earth, but it's mostly vines. She ties people up with vines or prickly vines. BB has the power of water. It's mostly used in bubbles. And then Sky has the power of wind, mostly with tornadoes. And he also has a hoverboard that he can kind of fly on.
Because he controls the wind.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you make the kids dress up as their alter egos on Halloween?
Well, I don't have that kind of costume making power. I did try my best around Halloween time. I did buy some like cat ears and noses and stuff, but I wasn't really. It wasn't really that successful. And the youngest girl, Lacey, actually refused to do anything, to be any part of that.
No.
Yeah. Which is funny because she helped me pick out the cat ears, but then when it came time to wear them, she was like, no.
No. Oh, dance for you, monkey boy, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I could talk about the villain here as well. So we have Lexter, the construction worker. This picture right here is page 2. I don't know if it's just me, but I just find that there's just something really, really funny about a full-grown man busting through a wall of an elementary school and crashing a Halloween party. It probably is just me, but I find this scene to be hilarious.
What's even funnier is that pose is the same pose from the old 1960s Aurora Superman model kit where he just punches through a brick wall. Yeah.
Oh wow. I wouldn't have even known that. That's pretty cool.
See, I'm full of all kinds of useless information.
Yeah, and I made him say, "Oh yeah," like the Kool-Aid Man, because this is supposed to be like a Saturday morning cartoon, so it's going to be a little over the top. It's going to be campy, and it's going to be cheesy. I don't know if you saw my post. I was addressing some feedback I got from someone who actually did read my Webtoons or the comic on Webtoons, and they claimed that this scene here, when he turns himself into a dragon, is really like. She was like, the corniest line I've ever read. You ain't seen nothing yet. Now behold my Dragon Lord power. I mean, it's supposed to be corny. I mean, it's part of the charm of trying to be like a Saturday morning cartoon,
I'm like, right there, the first thing that came to mind is like, I go, oh, wow, that is so Power Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically it, Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, the old, any of those old, like, Saturday morning cartoons, Transformers, G.I. Joe, just one-liner type, slogan, or not one-liner, but slogan type cartoons where they say the same thing every episode, That's where I kind of gave them their tagline when they transform. Let's get ready for action. That's kind of their Power Rangers-esque Morphin' Time line, And one thing I probably need to stress is that this is an anthology, so it's going to follow different characters with different chapters. I know it probably confuses readers if they don't know that ahead of time, because it's like, wait, following the Hyperfeeling Ninja Heroes, and then all of a sudden there's this guy. So this guy is Super Steak. He interrupts the program.
Super Steak.
Yes, I came up with him when I was in 7th grade, and I haven't looked back. So he's a little bit like Deadpool in the sense that he completely breaks the fourth wall. Now, so he interrupts the program literally between chapter 1 and 2. He comes on board and kind of gives a little explanation as to what's going on, because basically, like a Tarantino movie, chapter 1 doesn't take place chronologically before chapter 2. So in order for you to be like, wait, what? I needed a little exposition buffer to kind of explain that it's going to go back in time a little bit.
Yeah, this book is an anthology. And if you don't know what that is, ask your parents about Pulp Fiction, and they will explain it to you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Pulp Fiction. Chapter 1 doesn't take place before chapter 2. So you're going to be a little confused when you see them in the first day of school, and then wait, wasn't it Halloween before that? Yeah, exactly. So Super Steak kind of says, hey, I'm Super Steak, and yes, I know I'm talking to you right now, the audience. But so he basically just gives a little background as to what is going on, what was going on, and certain things that I introduce in the next chapter without any real like explanation. Like talks a little bit about the way this world works. So it's an alternate timeline, alternate history, you could say. So it takes place in the future, but not our future. So it's like there's this corporation, Miracore, that pretty much owns the world. So our government is not our government. It's basically the Miracore overlord. So that's where this guy comes in. If I can mirror image point to him, Vice President Jack Blade. He gets a little introduction towards the end of the chapter 2. So that's also why I had that little exposition buffer to kind of say, hey, you're going to be introduced to this guy, so don't be alarmed when it just kind of happens almost randomly.
Almost randomly, except I told you it was going to happen.
Exactly.
Stand back and go like this, and then continue reading the book.
Exactly. Because he gets his own story that unfolds just as much as the Hyper-Feline Ninja Heroes do, just as much as the Animal Teens do. I don't have a book to showcase the Animal Teens because they're actually in the book that I'm trying to fund. Of all the characters I've probably created for this book, the Animal Teens are probably the only ones that aren't based off something. I've basically almost completely made them up. Like I don't the basis for Super Steak is he's essentially Superman mixed with Deadpool. He's indestructible and he breaks the fourth wall. Hyper-Feline Ninja Heroes is essentially Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers. And then I have a whole bunch of other characters that are based off something. But the Animal Teens, I wasn't inspired by anything per se to come up with them. It was just like I guess I just did. I don't know how that explains that, but there's nothing that they're directly like kind of mimicking, I guess you could say. I guess you could say that they're sort of like the Animorphs, but it wasn't my inspiration for them. So the Animal Teens in book 3 or chapter 3 starts off with Harlan, who's your typical senior high school. He's a quarterback. He's, very popular guy, right? And then he makes the winning touchdown, but only because he started transforming into a giant rabbit. So the Animal Teens are characters different from the Hyper-Feline Ninja Heroes, where they transform fully into animals, but they don't really they don't have any powers beyond just those animals. Whereas the Hyper-Feline Ninja Heroes is more like magic based, I guess you could say. These guys is more science based, but that's a slight spoiler. I'll get into that maybe when I'm funding the 2 books from now.
A couple books from now, I'm planning a spoiler.
Yeah.
Just so you know, you should probably buy this stuff now.
Exactly.
So it's one of those.
Yeah. I've got stories planned for quite some time. And, funding or no funding, I'll find a way to do it. But it's great to have, it's better to have the support when I know that there's actually people willing to read it,
Mm-hmm.
and takes the financial burden off a little bit too, But
yeah, you really need to, crowdfund these books unless, somebody with a lot of money comes up to you and goes, "This is a great kid's book, and I want to publish you, but you're only going to get 10%."
Right.
But your book's going to get out. It's like,
Right.
Well, I don't know.
Let's see. Sell the rights to the devil, and I could make 10%. Although 10% of $1 million is 100,000, so I mean that's still not bad. Or fund it all myself, barely make any money, but at least I have my dignity. I don't know which one to choose. I think I still go with dignity on that one. Although
you go well, you still have to ask your wife. Am I allowed to
that's
be
true.
Am I allowed to be dignified today?
My wife may not agree with the dignity. My wife would probably kick my butt for choosing dignity. You're gonna get that $100,000 and you're gonna like it.
She's gonna go.
Yeah. But actually the major dream is to have like Scholastic or someone publish it, and then like from there it gets picked up as like a cartoon. That's kind of like the ultimate dream goal, is for this to be an actual Saturday morning cartoon, even though those don't really exist anymore.
Yeah, that kind of that kind of cheeses me off. I mean, I stream all the free apps, so like Pluto has like the throwback cartoon thing.
Oh, cool.
And I'll either watch that or the spaghetti westerns if I'm even awake on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
But what they do is they take like 4 or 5 cartoons and they just this one.
Wow.
It goes one to the other. And I'm like, no. Put on all the Flash Gordon from the 70s. I want to watch it all again. It was good.
Exactly. Yeah, every now and then
I don't want to see Teletubbies. Stop it.
Right. I mean, I guess Teletubbies is kind of in that category now too. If you really think about it, like I guess it kind of, well, that wasn't really a Saturday morning thing though. I thought those were on the weekdays too. I don't know. I'm actually too old for Teletubbies. Even though I'm a millennial, I'm on the older side. My wife, on the other hand, she's the right age for Teletubbies. I mean, she was when she was growing up. Not now. Like, whoa. Sorry to misconstrue myself there. We have an 8-year difference. That's what I mean. So she was a baby when Teletubbies was around, where I was like just getting into like preteens when it happened.
You didn't want to get caught by your friends accidentally watching Teletubbies. So
yes, exactly.
It's like, because that's a beating in the locker room right there.
Yeah, exactly. And but yeah, every Saturday morning I try to give myself like an old Saturday morning cartoon kind of thing, where it's like, all right, I'll watch like Spider-Man, the 90s animated Spider-Man. I'll watch like Ninja Turtles. I'll even throw in an episode of Power Rangers from here and there, just to kind of, I had to buy Ninja Turtles, but Disney Plus is streaming all the Spider-Man cartoons they've ever had, actually. Mm-hmm. So they even have Spider-Man and Amazing Friends.
The one that I want to watch, which is the 67.
67. Oh, I don't know if they have. That's my. Is that one just called Amazing Spider-Man?
Just Spider-Man, I think.
Oh, it might be there. I think it might be on Disney Plus.
They didn't have it like the last time I looked.
Oh, really?
It was the one that had the upbeat. There goes the Spider-Man.
Oh, I see.
It was the 60s version, but it was a good one. It was on man, when I was growing up, that thing was on like channel 25 every afternoon.
Oh, wow.
I used to catch a beat from my friends going in from playing, whatever we were doing. Well, I hear my mom calling. I'll be right back. And I go and watch Spider-Man for a half hour, and they'd sneak up to the house and like look through the front window. Be like, they wouldn't stop pounding on the door. We're gonna kick your butt. You're costing us the game to watch Spider-Man. What's wrong with you? It's cartoons, man. Shut up.
Spider-Man was awesome. Is still awesome. I love almost everything Spider-Man. It's really the majority of comics that I love is Spider-Man. I've the only X-Men comics I've actually read are the ones that had Spider-Man in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because I'm just like a super Spider-Man fan. Like, I'm a super Spider-Man fan, and then I'm a super MCU fan. So, like, I love all their, like, movies, like the MCU movies, Disney/Marvel movies.
Yeah, the Mighty Mouse movies.
Yeah, Mighty. Exactly.
Yeah, the movies have been good. The shows have been, pretty good. There's a couple of cringy parts, on them where they, in Falcon and Winter Soldier, when they went all they had to put their plug in for social justice, and I'm like, really? Sam Wilson is known all over the world. He was part of the friggin' Avengers, dude. Everybody knows who he is. Even small town cops know who he is.
Yeah. That was a little weird that one guy wouldn't recognize him.
Yeah. He's the Falcon. He's a member of the Avengers. I don't care. Before the old man in the house comes out and whoops your butt, keep going. I was glad they had him in there as that character because he's an awesome actor. He used to be on not Alias, but one of the shows like that with the actress that played Elektra. She was like a spy and stuff.
Oh, who the heck played Elektra?
Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Gardner. Oh, yeah. Some reason I was picturing Carmen Electra, and I don't know why. Probably because Elektra.
Well, don't say that too loud. Your wife might hear you.
Right. She might actually be watching. Actually, I told her to watch. If you're watching, sorry.
You will be. So let's take a look at the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I see from the last conversation you had, because I caught you over on the Pop Show there.
Yep.
That you made a little video, but we're not going to play it because we're already talking to you, and the video is you talking about what we're already talking about. Yeah,
I just gave a quick description and how many pages the book is and everything like that. It's pretty a simple video because I'm working on making an actual video, but they said I should have just something up there. So I'm like, all right, I'll put this as a placeholder. I've got a couple months, so I'll put the real video in there eventually. This weekend was lost. I was actually planning on doing the filming this weekend, but didn't happen.
Yeah, life gets in the way quite a bit.
Yeah.
But so we're up to $91. I know the aforementioned Mike Jimmy backed it because he thought it was a cool looking project.
Yep.
And it's a very attainable goal. You only set the goal at 500. You've only got 5 backers and you're already almost at $100. So that's not bad at all. Yeah. And you set it for 60 days to make sure you can hit that goal too.
Exactly.
And one of the tricks is to be on as many podcasts like this as you can get on to talk about your project and get it in front of as many eyes as possible.
Exactly.
even if that means that you share this out so much on Facebook that you get a notification that you're not allowed to share anything for 3 days because you've overshared.
Because I'm spamming.
You're spamming. No, I'm not. I've never even been to Hawaii.
Exactly.
So we want to get these numbers up there. I shared the thing out to the Madness, and I shared it out to Twitter before we went on. And Trish shared it out, so it got in front of like a whole bunch of her friends.
Excellent.
Now, is this the piece that you moved up that they said, oh, that should be at the top, so it explains everything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
They said I should have put. I should stress that my kids the characters are based off my kids, and that the little elevator pitch should be at the top as well.
Mm-hmm. And for an extra $500, you can have my kids and my niece and nephew sign the book.
I could have them sign it if you'd really like me to.
Well, that would be funny. But you going forward, you should probably put something in the credits. So and so played by.
All right.
That way, the kids can like grab the book and like take it and goes, see, I'm in a comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah. I turn into a cat.
Turn to a pet, and my powers is vines.
I'll tie you up with rose bushes and I won't tell you.
Yeah, right.
Halloween ruckus. Not a typo. I emphasize it is a Boston accent.
I emphasize a Boston accent with that word. Yep. Because I know if I don't put those parentheses there, people are going to be like, you spelled ruckus wrong. No, it's ruckus.
Mm-hmm. There they are.
Yep. So there's the kids. So from left to right, that's Lacey, Chloe, Jackson, Seeley.
Seeley looks like he's trying on his superhero mask already.
Yep. They were just given a normal pose, but yep. So Chloe and Seeley are mine, and then Jackson and Lacey are my sisters.
That's cool. You made characters after your kids.
Yep. And they love it. My nephew was like, "You need to make sure you give me a book with all the pages in it." And I'm like, "Yeah, when they arrive, I'll get you one. Don't worry."
Now this is what you do. You take the book, you put the board in the bag, and then you put the book in there and tuck the flap in when you're not reading it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Gotta teach them.
Yeah, I taught my daughter that, and really quick, my daughter taught me. As soon as I ask if I'm messing around with my comics, and I go, "Hey, can you come here and give me a hand?" She goes, I am not making bags and boards for you. I am not putting the books in the bag and board because I keep forgetting what side of the cardboard. I will help you move boxes. I will not help you pack boxes. Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Fair enough, So there's our characters.
Yep.
Our main characters in the anthology.
In book one here. Yep. And then there's our cartoon counterparts. So the boys, top is Seeley, bottom is Jackson. Top for the girls, Lacey, bottom Chloe.
Cool. Did one of the boys get mad that you turned him into a ginger?
No, he doesn't mind at all.
Oh, cool. I used to be a ginger. My daughter,
really?
My daughter, when she was little, used to be like, "Daddy, you used to have red hair. What happened to your red hair?" I'm like, "Your mother did." Now I'm bald. It's like nothing but gray hair everywhere. So I'm like, I just shaved my head to be done with it. I'm like, there's not enough here to like cover my head. So I'm just going to shave it all off and be done with it. I remember telling you on Pop Stream that I really dug like the Quanta box thing.
Oh yeah.
That that's cool because I don't see any indie books really doing this.
Oh really?
Yeah, it should be moved over some, but
oh yeah. I mean, probably not perfect, but I
yeah,
followed the tutorial the best I could.
yeah, you got to do what you can do.
Yep.
I can't even get that far. I'm like, how do I make stuff for StreamYard? Well, first you have to buy Photoshop. Okay, we're done.
Yeah, I do have a Photoshop subscription. I know. It's.
Oh no, you don't need that.
Well, I did have a bootleg copy, but it was several versions behind. So every time I'm trying to look at a tutorial, they're doing things that I can't do with the version I had.
Yeah, well, you can just get like a newer basic version, but it's still like super expensive. And I'm like,
yeah, it is expensive. It's kind of worth it, but it is expensive for sure.
I'm almost like, I really want to get one of my artist friends to be like, look, I just need to learn how to do stuff so I can make like, new backgrounds and cool stuff for my podcast and junk. And hey, can you help a brother out?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll kick you some money. And then down here, the Indie Alliance approved.
Yep. I got that from forget who allowed me to use that, but he told me I was allowed to do so.
Cool.
Yeah, there's let's see if I can find him in my messages. Because yeah, he gave me this logo to use. Where the heck was he? It was no. No. I'm probably not going to find them. There's a million things to sift through. But if I find them, I'll message you the name.
So, which cat is this with the fire?
That's Fury. Yeah, so Fury is fire, BB is water, Sky is wind, and then Rosie is the vines and the earth.
And this is the bad construction worker that busted up a kid's elementary school party.
Yes. So the main villain ends up sending him out to find them at that elementary school because so if you notice in the page, I'll show you again here, the little gem around his neck, right? That's the Eye of Ra. It's one of these power stones. Now, disclaimer here, I came up with this idea for mystical power stones before I had ever heard of Infinity Stones. I'm not ripping off the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I swear.
And you're not stealing the Eye of Ra from Stargate either.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing in Stargate either.
Oh yeah, it is. It's all the Egyptian. Stargate is based around all the Egyptian gods.
Oh, well, there are only so many ideas in the world, right?
Well, apparently because, Marvel and DC only have like 9 stories and they just keep rehashing them and, they get the bingo ball thing going.
Yeah.
Just choose different characters to put in the same story.
Right. That's how you end up with Venom, Gwen, and stuff like that.
And Heroes Reborn.
Yeah.
Again. I remember that. That's when they let Liefeld draw like, triple D's on Captain America from a side view.
What?
He drew his chest so big, like on a profile shot, that it looked like he had big boobs.
Big boobs? Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, and to to crack back on it, they did a similar pose, and the camera angle like reenacted that for one of the still promo shots for the Falcon and Winter Soldier, like about halfway through the show.
Oh, weird.
Which just made it even funnier. I go, oh my God. And then all of a sudden that book just started jumping off because all the speculators.
Right.
I'm like, Huh. And here we go with number 2, Tornado Trouble.
Tornado Trouble. Yes, so the tornado is the villain of the story of that chapter. Mind you, the tornado is sent by the bad guy Anubis, which I don't show him completely. I got this kind of Dr. Claw thing going for him where he kind of sits in a chair and points at a screen a lot.
Well, that's even better because you don't have to figure out how to draw him until like the end of the story arc now.
Right, exactly. You know.
So he created the tornado and sent it into town to give these guys a hard time and make everybody miserable.
So, like I said, chapter 2 it starts kind of in the beginning of the anthology or the beginning of the storyline, the timeline. So this is before Anubis knew the Hyperfeline Ninja Heroes existed. So they stopped this bank robbery that he was essentially the one behind. I mean, it was just 2 random bank robbers, but he was essentially going to profit from it. And they stopped them, and then that was when he was like, what the devil? He even says, what the devil? Like Shredder does when. So that's a reference. That's a legit reference to Ninja Turtles. What the devil? That's the exact words that Shredder says when he notices the Ninja Turtles fighting off his gangsters or bad guys that work for him.
The Foot Clan, yeah.
So when he first finds out that there's mutant turtles, he's like, what the devil? Legit. So I've got a whole lot of, references like that in this.
Lots of Easter eggs.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's everything that inspires me is going to show up in this book one way or another, And yeah, so it's actually Harris, this little guy, the rat man, not a reference to Master Splinter because he's evil, but he is a rat man. So I guess there is some kind of you'll always kind of make the reference, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Kevin Eastman, but all rats are evil.
Yes. So he's the one who actually conjures the tornado. Anubis is like, because at first Harris is like, hey, I'll conjure a horrific monster to get rid of him. And he's like, no. We need to make it look like an accident. And he's like, all right, natural disaster it is then. So it's the biggest tornado that the world's ever seen. And, I won't tell you how the chapter ends because...
You want to buy the book and read it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we're here.
Exactly. But, yeah, but it's a... both stories are pretty exciting, I like to say, and chapter 3 will be even more exciting because we're going to follow the path of a new introduced hero. Harlan, like I said, is a giant rabbit, or he transforms into a giant rabbit at first against his will. That's when his powers essentially manifest. So. I guess you could say there's kind of an X Factor thing going on with the animal teens because it's like they don't know they have powers until that happens, kind of thing.
You said X Factor. I'm like, are they
I guess I meant
song?
X-Gene. I guess I meant X-Gene. Sorry, not X Factor.
I was because it's like there's a YouTube thing open. You said X Factor. I'm like all ready to stop watching yarns of song going on to seeing who I think is any good.
Yeah, no,
stupid. It's a comic book.
X-Gene Factor, X-Men thing going on where it's like they don't have powers until they happen, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Manifest destiny.
Manifest destiny, exactly. So. Yeah, so it changes Harlan's life pretty much dramatically. He ends up hanging out with these other two kids, Scott and Sheila, who he would normally never hang out with, and they would never hang out with him because, well, he's popular kid, they're goth kids. They don't mix. But because they all have this thing in common, Scott and Sheila already know they can transform into animals. And when he explains to them that it's happened, why does he? Well, yeah. He talks to Sheila because he was supposed to meet his friend Jamie, but he accidentally bailed on her when his powers manifested. He ended up in a sleeping for like 12 hours, so he missed his date with Jamie, and she got pissed at him. And she
imagine that never happens.
Good friends with Sheila. Yeah, imagine that. You have this date, scheduled, and then something crazy happens, and then you end up asleep for 12 hours, and then she just thinks you were partying too hard the night before because you won the football game, and she's mad at you. So you talk to her best friend who hates you, mind you. But then when you mention that you think you turned into a rabbit, she gives you a chance because she too can turn into an animal. Yes, Sheila turns into a mole. Scott turns into an otter. I chose animals that people have never used in media that transform into. I can't think of a single character that transforms into an otter. The only thing that comes to mind is PB&J Otter, but those are just otters. They're not people who turn into otters.
I think the closest thing to that, and it still wouldn't be somebody turning into that. It would just be like adaptations of their super suits. Would probably be that kid show Wild Kratts.
Right. Yeah, but that's just like an animal suit, or more like a Power Rangers thing where it's like they have the spirit of the animal. But yeah, and then Jamie in book 5 actually. So this next book is chapters 3, 4, 5. So chapter 5, Animal Torment, we're actually going to follow Jamie and her transformation into a pigeon. Yeah, it actually manifests when she's being bullied. So there's actually a little bit of relatability in there, I'm sure, to anybody who reads and who's been bullied.
Turn into a pigeon, crap on his head, fly away.
Yeah. Well, she turns into a pigeon and then runs into the bathroom because she doesn't know what the heck's. So basically, she jumps into the air, but then she kind of floats because her arms start turning into wings.
Is she a giant pigeon or just a regular pigeon?
Yeah. So these are giant. They're turning into a human-sized version of these animals.
Oh man, the bully must be scared.
Yeah. Well, everybody's shocked. Nobody knows what to say when she jumps up, and she actually, I say this is all ages, but she actually calls that girl bullying her a tramp, which I guess is pushes it against that all ages label a little bit.
Well, Disney has a movie called that.
That's true, Lady and the Tramp, right? So I guess it works. She could have used a different 4-letter word that begins with an S, which would have been a little more on the no side. But yeah, it's a more tame version. Tramp is a more tame word. But yeah, so she runs into the bathroom, and that's when and then when she manifests her powers completely, she has this vision where she's flying and she's amongst these pigeons, and next thing you know, she wakes up in the Central Park Zoo. So Harlan wakes up in his bed, but Jamie wakes up in the Central Park Zoo. I always want to say Franklin's Park Zoo because Boston, but this takes place in New York. Well, my futuristic alternate history version of New York, which I actually call Neon City. So if you read someone referring to it as Neon City, it really is New York City, but we call it Neon City in this book.
So let's continue our trip through Tornado Alley here.
Yes.
Well, my tablet notification after notification.
Yep.
Oh, there's the bunny and the otter and. Yep. Is that a sloth?
The mole. So Sheila turns into a mole.
Oh, looks like a sloth.
Oh. I guess.
Well, no,
yeah.
the head looks like a mole, but I see the claws on the hand, and I'm like, it just made me think of a sloth because I covered somebody that had a sloth book like last year.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess the hands are a little slothy, but I think when I was describing her, I needed her to have some form of attack. So I was like, make the claws extra claw-y. Yeah, those are my descriptions. I'm lucky the artist can draw anything from me. And then
Dr. Quacko's Revenge.
Chapter I haven't talked about at all today is Dr. Quacko's Revenge, which is one of my favorite ones that I wrote.
and like I yelled out in the other stream, I'm like, oh my God, it's a drunk Uncle Scrooge.
Yes. So this one character was actually designed by my good friend Olivia Arrington. Me and her had a project very similar to this a few years ago. One of the reasons I stopped was because my partnership with her had ended. She was drawing a version of the hyper feeling ninja heroes we were calling Siamese ninja heroes. But that partnership ended, and then I had to kind of change things if I wanted to continue on my own. But she graciously gave me permission to use her character here. So I just got to make sure I give her the proper credit. So if you notice on the front cover, underneath the character box, you'll actually see her name under Dave Lentz. So Dave Lentz goes to character design, but specifically I write Dr. Quacko's design goes to Olivia Arrington.
Yeah, all the fine print here, yes.
Yep, exactly. So Dr. Quacko, poor Dr. Quacko, he really just wanted to be taken seriously, but he has this problem. You see, his face is a duck's face.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So he's this brilliant scientist, but nobody wants to take him seriously. So he ends up teaching at S. Lee Elementary School, which, side note here, all the schools are named that way. S. Lee Elementary School, S. Ditko High School, and J. Kirby Middle School.
Okay. Somebody likes the marbles.
Yeah, just a little bit, you know. Well, I mean, I got to give credit to if Spider-Man is my basically what got me started on anything comics related, then it all goes to those three guys, basically. But yes, so he ends up being a teacher, which happens to be the same school that the Hyperfeeling Ninja Heroes attend. So chapter 4 here, we have a very similar setup as chapter 1. So chapter 1, we see them walking to school, and then there's a lockdown, right? Lockdown situation. In the second chapter, it's because of a bank robbery, and they fear that the bank robbers might try to use the school as a hideaway. Chapter 4, they go into lockdown because this guy goes crazy and uses his new fangled machine that transforms people into hideous animal mutations like himself. So here's I haven't added it yet, but I will be adding this as a I think I did add it as one of the rewards. So if you choose the reward tier that gets you to be a character in this comic, I have a scene in my head that I think I will be putting those people who take that tier in. And it will be this page where he goes crazy and transforms people into animals. I'll be transforming the funders into animals.
I'm gonna make. What did I become? Wait, a snake? Ah,
yes. I can't wait till the artist is working on that one. It's going to be so fun to describe for him, and I'm sure he's going to have a ball.
Oh, look, interior pages.
Yep. So this is part of the 4-page PDF that I'm talking about in the rewards called Family Problems, and this actually introduces Vice President Jack Blade and his story.
Ooh,
And that's his
bad
robot
guy.
companion, Garfield.
Looks ominous.
It is. I mean, he's it's a
Oh,
little
there's Pigeon Girl.
it's a little black and white where what side of the spectrum he falls on, whether he's good or bad. It's a little bit of both. And then here's page 1 of chapter 3, which will pretty much be the first page of the next book, the book that we're trying to fund.
Mm-hmm.
So as you see, there's Harlan pre-Rabbit. I'm trying to make the winning touchdown. And
But
so
can a rabbit hold on to a football?
yeah,
Buy the book and find out.
exactly.
Because they're not these rabbits.
Nope.
Characters you will meet.
Yep.
Fury. The flames of the fury.
Yep.
The vines of
Rosie.
Fury's twin sister. But
Yep.
not in real life.
No.
BB. Is that BB? Did I say that right?
BB. Yep.
BB, the water cat. Well, if two things don't go together.
Well, it's funny you say that because when I was doing my research for their designs, because each cat is based off a real life cat with the designs, and when I typed in the words water cat, I believe Turkish van came up, and that is what she is based off, a Turkish van, cats that somewhat like water.
For more than drinking. And what does she do? She just kind of like makes bubbles with her wand.
Pretty much. I mean, she can control water as well. So I mean, there are points in the series where she'll kind of like make waves and stuff, especially later on in the series. Their powers do eventually evolve into bigger things too.
And Sky is the youngest and has the power of the wind.
Yep.
Hey, look, it's Jack Rabbit Slims. Whoops, wrong movie.
Yeah.
Harlan Lepus, high school quarterback who finds out he's got new strange powers to transform into a rabbit.
Yep.
Oh my. And the pigeon comes with glasses.
Yep. They turn into like aviator goggles.
She's a goody two shoes. Oh yeah.
Yep.
How do you know she's a goody two shoes? Well, because back in my day, that just screams preppy.
Yep. That's exactly it.
I'm glad you got that old-fashioned reference. I didn't know how to explain it otherwise. Scott Luter has the power to transform into an otter. What do otters even do? They just like swim, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I pretty much give him similar powers to BB. I think I eventually make it so that he's not only like swimming in sewers and stuff, he's also like creating tidal waves as he jumps out of the sewer and stuff. Because I was like, yeah, I guess he doesn't really have that good of a power. This is probably why they never made a superhero otter yet.
I wonder. And here's the angry goth girl you turned into a mole.
Yep. Well, I mean, she's goth. She hates the sun, so a mole is kind of perfect for trying to stay underground away from the sun, right?
And then we have book preview number 1.
Yep. So I think I give the first 3 pages of each chapter in book 1.
Hey, Kool-Aid!
Yep, Kool-Aid Man bursting through the wall there.
I used to do that. I had a friend that used to bring us coffee. I used to DJ. I was a nightclub DJ for like 30 years.
Oh wow.
And one of my manager's friends we used to make, he just like hung around and did nothing. He was like twice my size. So we used to send him next door to Dunkin' Donuts to buy us all coffee. And he came back, he came in one night and he's got this bright candy apple red, like size 8X polo on. And I just grabbed the microphone in the middle of a song and I'm like, "Hey, Kool-Aid." And everybody turned. He got so angry and the whole place was in stitches. People were like on the floor laughing.
Oh man.
Kind of like this right here, except they're not laughing.
Yeah, they're hiding for their lives. There are actually a lot of scenes where the kids are under tables in this series. I just realized
it's like a 1930s,
yeah, nuclear bomb. Drill.
Yeah, it's a bomb. It's an air raid siren. Hide under your desk because that'll protect you.
All right.
Shoom.
So the Eye of Ra there is basically there are a few powers that Eye of Ra has. It can transmute, basically transform anything into anything. It essentially gives him pretty good super strength, and there's this. I think the scene is not on there, but there's a scene where essentially he's also impervious to wind. There's this fourth wall moment where Sky realizes that and says, "What am I even talking about?" So
Fury gets ready for action.
Yep. And there's the first page of book 2, or chapter 2 rather.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first day of school.
Peaceful suburbs of Neon City. Wow, this is going to be upstate Neon City. Because the 5 boroughs look nothing like this.
Yeah, it's like Manhattan, Staten Island, kind of rich sea.
Long Island,
yeah. And then, of course, because Seely's the youngest, they're like, "You need to be the distraction."
What?
What? What? What are you staring at?
What am I, Shaggy? So we'll go there and we'll jump over here. So if you just want to help out the campaign, you can pledge a reward, pledge without a reward, rather, and chip in like $10. You can chip in more.
Be about that.
Pledge $5 or more. It's the friend tier. You get a PDF of issue 1 and 2, plus the 4-page chapter Family Problems, starring Vice President Jack Blade.
Yeah. Yeah, so it didn't let me change the wording of issue 1, issue 2, and I remember we discussed on the other podcast that was a little confusing, but issue 1 and issue 2 refers to book 1, just to make that clear, and then issue 3, 4, and 5 refers to book 2.
Mm-hmm. So 1 and 2 is in one book, and 3, 4, and 5 is in the second book.
Yes.
Yeah, chapters opposed to issues, but
yeah. Yeah, now I'm saying chapters, but originally that was my wording, and it won't let me change it now that people have pledged.
Yeah. Estimated delivery. Oh, my birthday.
Yeah, so the PDFs can go out pretty much immediately once, this campaign's over.
Mm-hmm.
And the printed books, book 1 can be sent out pretty much once the campaign is over. Book 2, I estimate will be done October-ish. Given I keep up, given that it's funded, number 1, but it's funded, then yeah, October-ish, because he roughly gets me out 3 pages every 1 page every 3 days. So roughly, I want to say between 25 and 30 pages to make. So yeah, probably might even be sooner than October. I might even be able to ship earlier, but I think I said October just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
In case I don't want to
So,
underestimate rather than
estimated delivery
overestimate.
date November, and you don't want to ship out book 1 if they get it. If they take that tier, you don't want to ship out book 1, and then when they come in, have to ship them out another book. You want to
Right.
wait and ship out everything all together, because why on earth would you want to double your shipping costs?
Oh, true. That's a good point, actually. So
Because
yeah,
shipping is ridiculous.
yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I think the shipping cost me probably more than the actual book does. Now that
Yeah.
I think about it.
It's I sell comics, like I've been selling like all my old comics online, well, or trying to, and every time I send out like a Gemini mail to somebody, it costs me like $13.
Oh man.
So yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's part of what the campaign funds as well, is helps me
Hopefully,
actually yeah, ship it out, get the shipping out there.
we're gonna need everybody to hit that $10 tip jar, because well, I might have miscalculated the shipping a bit.
Yeah. I was basing it off what it costs me to ship when I ship a book to myself, but I guess it could be more if I ship it elsewhere.
Yeah, well, wherever you ship it to that area code, they charge you like a different rate, like all the time. And
Oh.
I ship a lot of stuff to, like, the middle of the country or the West Coast, or down to Florida, and it's like $12, $13. I'm like, well, if I'm gonna pay $12, $13 or more, I might as well just pay the $13, and I'll fill up the Gemini, and then I have my helper that runs my errands for me go and get the priority mailer, and then just have the woman go, see this? Can you type this in and just print up the label and slap it on this? Yep. Okay. When you're ready, type up this label, slap it on that, and then you can put everything together. Okay, here we go.
Oh yeah.
If I sold enough stuff on a weekly basis, I would just open up a stamps.com account,
yeah.
because it'll save you like a ton of money. So if you were doing like if you build your crowd enough and your following enough that you can do like 4, possibly 5 crowd funds a year,
Oh yeah.
then it's worth getting. Otherwise, you're just like, yeah, bite the bullet and
Otherwise
let
you're
them do.
paying a
Yeah.
monthly fee kind of for nothing, right?
Yeah. Pledge $5 or more, you get the PDF of Best Friends tier is the PDF of issue 3, 4, and 5, plus the 4-page chapter Family Problems.
Yep.
$10 or more, Best Friends Deluxe tier. You'll get a PDF of issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 chapters.
Chapters, yeah.
Once completed, plus exclusive artwork and sketches.
Yep.
$20, Earth's Best Friend tier. Get physical copies of Earth's Best Friend issues, chapters 1 and 2. I'm just going to read chapters where I see issues. Chapter 1 and 2 in book 1, plus chapters 3, 4, and 5, once completed, in book 2.
Book 2. Yep.
Physical copy of book 1, physical copy of book 2, and the 4-page chapter Family Problems. That's included in book 2.
Yeah, so you'll get the PDF, but it actually will be in the physical. It'll be its own PDF if you do only the
PDF
book
version.
1, but it'll be included with book 2 because it's actually the first 4 pages of book 2.
Oh, okay.
Because again, like, you know, anthology, so it kind of breaks up in between chapter 2 and 3 is family problems. It doesn't have a chapter number because it's just 4 pages.
Now, since you cringed at the cost of shipping, I know you want to ship to anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
But you might want to, hey, if you're in the UK, you might just want to get the PDF.
Yeah, that's although the aforementioned Mike, he's from the Netherlands, right? So he actually went for, I think he went for a physical copy. So
oh yeah, he I hate digital comics. Okay. Yeah. How do you make your comic? Digitally. No, he actually draws the pages out, and I think
really?
he scans them in and does the rest because he's got to scan them into files. He does the layouts, the art, and the inks, and then he sends them to his colorist, who is amazing.
Oh man.
He's like, man, I hope no actual publisher with money discovers my colorist, because then I'm just going to be screwed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Earth's Best Friends Deluxe tier. You get a physical copy of Earth's Best Friends, book 1 with chapters 1 and 2, plus book 2 with chapters 3, 4, and 5 was completed. Plus the PDF backup as well, with exclusive artwork and sketches included in the physical books. And of course, the 4-page family problems will be a backup story in book 2.
Yep.
$50 or more. Or more.
Or more.
Merchandise Friends tier. So you get all that stuff and character photo prints.
Yep.
In this one. Okay, I thought there was something else in that, because I was like, you're wearing your merch shirt. So I'm like,
yeah, that's the next merchandise tier. The shirt.
Oh, the $100 tier.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an expensive t-shirt.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess because of shipping, it makes it expensive.
Yeah, because you gotta fold it. Because you're going from a Gemini mailer to like a medium-sized box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
so
not only that, but I have to ship it to myself first, and then I got to ship it out. So yeah.
You get everything listed above, plus the Earth's Best Friend t-shirt. Possibly even in your size.
Yeah, just a random size, you know.
Yeah. No, one size fits all. Don't worry about it.
Extra large for everyone.
Please. I'm a big dude. I was like almost 600 pounds, and I lost like 225 pounds.
Oh wow.
And I'm still a big fat mojo, aka Jabba the Hutt, in my chair. I bought a size 5X shirt, and I, online, supporting a musician that I liked, an independent musician I liked, and I couldn't get my head through the neck hole.
Oh wow.
I'm like, oh man, you're living in California. You ordered these shirts from China. Damn you. I'm like,
that's where I'm pretty sure these shirts come from, China.
Okay.
I use Vistaprint for pretty much a lot of my merchandise needs.
So the bonus in this one is to become a character in the book
Yes.
$100. You become a character in the book, and he will transform you into some random, possibly useless animal.
Yep, it'll be a background character, or I don't know. Yeah, but it is going to cost me $50 to get you designed from my character designer. So,
Yeah, so, but you'll be in a book,
but you'll be in the book,
or you can get your kids in a book.
or your kids, right? Yeah, I mean, if you're buying this for your kid, then yeah, you might want to go with your kid, and yep, and we'll transform into an animal of your choice. I mean, you can choose the animal I transform you into, if you like.
And that is the very last tier, the draw you in,
Yep.
which of course is always popular with most of these. There they are under the table again. I don't want to be the bait again.
Yeah, they're under the table a lot. I've realized, and then there's a few other chapters where it happens as well. Maybe I ought to call them the hyper table ninja heroes.
Hyper Table Ninja Hero.
Yeah, that's actually the joke theme song I have for them. It's just the Ninja Turtles theme, except you change the words to Hyper Feline Ninja Heroes. Hyper Feline Ninja Heroes. Hyper Feline Ninja Heroes. Hyper Feline Ninjas and their cats.
Cool.
My son
right,
actually
so
sings that song to me every now and then.
he wants more screen time in the book.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's funny. I he's the youngest, but I actually probably give him the most character development of those four kids. Um, and then I give Lacey the least.
People are going to be wondering, are they like in the same place because the lighting is going down the same amount? Nope. We are both in New England.
Yeah, we are, but we're in different states.
I'm south of Boston and he's north of Boston.
Yep. Halloween ruckus.
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 So the Kickstarter is in the chat, so you can click on it there or in the show notes, either up above or down below, depending on where you're watching us.
Need that light. Yeah.
If you're watching us for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel. We have all kinds of good nerdy comic book geekiness. We've got 3 different podcasts. Creators Outlet goes at least 3 times a week, possibly 4 times this week. And then we have OK Boomer, the podcast, because we're him and I are old, where we just talk about like older comics, back issues, and stuff from Gold and Silver and Bronze Age. Kind of a little bit of comic history and enjoying some different books that people might not know about or have forgotten about. And I do the Seanzilla Art Show on Wednesday nights, and so I got a full bucket. So there's all those shows on there. Plus there's reaction videos, mostly to music, and or anything that you want us to react to. And what else do we have? Oh yeah, what's in the box videos. I can make you suffer for like every time I get junk in the mail. I'm like, come on, you're gonna watch me open this and then look at everything I just bought that you don't have. Neener, neener, neener.
Nice.
So, please consider backing this project. If you can't back it currently, at least flag it with the remind me on it. And share it out to all your social media. Share it out to your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook, what have you. Tag all of your friends with children and tell them you need to buy this book because somebody else's kids are in this book and you can have your kid drawn into this book. Whatever works, get the message out there and let's get this book funded.
Yes, absolutely. That's the goal here.
Oh yeah. Max, why don't you tell everybody where they can follow you at on social media?
Yes, so you can follow me. I'm on Facebook at Earth's Best Entertainment, um, Instagram at Earth's Best Entertainment, Twitter. I'm at a different word at Schlogastic Book. It's a long story as to why that's that.
That doesn't even sound kid friendly. What's going on
Yeah,
there?
think Scholastic except spelled like Schlog. Yeah, it's even
Schlog,
hard to say, hard to spell. I hate
schlog,
that it's
schlog.
Yeah, I hate that it's still that, but it is my account with 11,000 followers, so I kind of keep it around.
Like, I have
um,
11,000 followers. Here we go.
um, you can also catch me on YouTube at Max Ham. I think it's Max Ham Productions still. You can also read Earth's Best Friends on Webtoons, www.earthbestentertainment.com. And I think that's all my plugs there.
Well, that sounds like more than enough. So please check this out, and that's going to wrap up another edition of Creators Outlet. And this will be available, of course, up on my podcast platform a little later on this evening, and will also be on my backup platform over at Rumble, since YouTube has decided, well, we're just going to remove random videos of yours. Okay, go ahead.
Huh.
So I'll back them up at some place that doesn't care what I say.
That
So
makes sense.
so that's what I started to do. It's just that their format is like very slow. It takes me like pretty much a whole day to upload like one video over there,
Oh, wow.
which is a little crazy. But I'm over on BitChute too. But I haven't gotten the hang of figuring out how that even works. So don't follow me there yet, but you can follow Creators Outlet on YouTube. Of course, all my information has been scrolling through the bottom. Twitter, I am Joker Fan, and Instagram, I am Joker Fan 1969. That's right. I have to scroll for like a week when I have to put my age in.
Oh, wow. Yeah. To
It's
get
like,
down to.
what? Are you kidding me? Not yet. Come on. So, Max, I want to thank you so much for coming on and hanging out. And now you got to set up in the house so you can don't have to sit in your car.
Yes.
Even though sometimes
Very good.
you have to hide from the family to do one of these, and you can be more comfortable inside, and you can do more content now, and work
Yep.
on a whole bunch of other stuff. The
I
books
plan on doing some
looked
streams
very
myself as
cool.
well.
I always say we need more we need more like kid friendly stuff, and stuff for a younger demographic. If you give just like I did when I first started reading comics, I hated reading,
Oh, yeah.
but you give kids something that appeals to them and is suited for younger ages on up, then you know they'll start reading, and the more they read, the better off they are. I try to read something every day, even if it's not a comic book.
Absolutely.
Of course, today it was just the sports page about the Bruins kicking capital butt. Take that, Chara. Chara was awesome to his former teammates, congratulating them after the game. I don't think the rest of the Capitals did that really.
Oh.
And so he was hugging his former teammates and congratulating them before he went in the back. But really, he's like 7'8" and like 300 pounds. Who's really gonna pick on him?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a leaner, meaner Andre the Giant. Come on.
Oh, wow.
But thank you so much,
Yeah,
and
thanks for having me.
we'll get the. I will share the podcast links out to you for so they'll be downloadable, so you can share them out and people can listen to us,
Excellent.
blather around like idiots for an hour or so, and
Sounds good.
and talk about the book and a little bit about your love of Spider-Man and the three greats from Marvel that are no longer with us.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get some more people on there, and just ask that everybody just keeps sharing up, anything that you see, even if you can't afford it, just share all the links out, as much as you can, because more people that see it, the more people, will buy it. Because, even like the pre-launch, if you get 100 people that sign up on pre-launch,
Oh yeah.
when you go live, you're lucky if 10% of those people actually back the book.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's it's like, oh great, cool. Tell me when it's going up. You can sign up here. Okay. And they, oh yeah, it's that comic book. Click. They'll look at it and they'll be like, oh yeah. And there's so many people that wait until like the last 4 or 5 days.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They'll click the reminder tab on the campaign, and they'll wait and let's see if it funds before I help fund this.
Yep.
That right there, my friends, is Southern logic. Don't make no sense. But I thank you. It's been great talking to you, and very cool that you got the picture of the kids that are actually starring in the comic book.
Yeah.
With a little twist here and there. Very cool. And I wish you all the best of luck. And I, of course, will keep on keeping on sharing.
Yes. Excellent.
So thank you very much, and have a good night, because I have to find out where I can find a light in this place, because I'm...
Uh-oh. Yeah, I turned the light on my camera on. It got dark.
I'm just like, well, your face looks red. I go, well, it's because the orange on the screen is just kind of like